Peace and love, world. Welcome to the episode of Conversation with Zoe.
And do we need our? We're good.
We're good. We're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we're good. We got some behind the scenes conversation for you guys. But today, we're in the financial literacy world, which is super important to me. But I'm like stocks 101, but we got an expert here today, a guy who's well versed in what he does. And I want to introduce my guest today. He is right here. Boom. So is it Rugen?
Yeah, Rugen. Yeah,
Boom.
perfect.
Evan Rugen.
Yeah.
Funding wizard.
Yes.
Helping over 1,000 people get funded at 0%.
Right.
Access to $50,000 plus 0% interest funding below at BoweryBoi Level Group NY.
Yes.
How you feeling, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here.
I'm doing the rollout. Rollout was all right.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? I do my thing, man. How you feeling? How's your summer?
I'm good, man. Just busy. Just everyone. I run a lot of cold email campaigns, do a lot with email campaigns, and I noticed more than ever so many out of office. No one's working right now.
Right. Yeah,
I feel like I'm working harder than ever.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm grinding right now, man. I'm locked in.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, listen. While they on vacation, we still getting.
That's the best time. It's the best time.
Absolutely.
Man.
And that's why I say, for certain people, I mean, this is a tough time to look for jobs if everybody's out of office.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
I see that on TikTok too. It's like I've never
Right.
really had a job. I've always worked for myself.
Right.
But I see people now. They're like, I filled out 400 or 500 applications. I'm like, how do you even do that?
Right. I mean,
Have you been seeing that?
Right. I've been seeing that. But the question to that is, who are your friends? You got no.
Yeah.
Somebody got to plug you in somewhere.
Exactly.
You feel me? Because I think this is my third job that I've been referred. I've been able to reach out to a friend that get.
It's all the network. It's like the rich guy
networking.
effect. Like someone's dad works at this bank. Let me get a job there.
Right. And like I tell people, if you have that issue socializing, then maybe go to your alumni events.
Sure. Yeah.
Go to there's certain settings that you never know who's doing what, and keep up with people.
There's even if I didn't go to college, there's ways where if you go to a paid event where it's $20, just some barrier to entry, that eliminates so many people. And the people that show up at those events is mind blowing.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah.
I see you got your nails painted.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that because I've seen there's been a lot of different mixed, I don't know, Dwayne Wade and nail polish and certain. I think what's his name, Niles, the USA track runner. I don't want to.
There's the NBA player now too.
Yeah, what I'm saying. They got nail polish. There's college players. Yeah. With NIL nail polish deals. So
dude on 76ers, man.
Right. Yeah. So what does it mean for you?
Yeah, man. Actually, believe it or not, shit, I didn't know that we were going here today. Really close friend of mine. His name's Chris Trelawney. He always wore this color blue. His dad had a University of North Carolina Tar Heels store. Like they sold it on campus, right? He was an Indian kid, and he was taking over his dad's store. And we're always talking about it. He was super pumped. I was giving some pointers, on like the e-commerce side of things. And he was in North Carolina. He was opening up his dad's store, right? It was that weekend was the grand opening, and he and his dad got into a 2-car accident, passed away. That was almost a year ago now. It was in September, so it was 11 months ago. And I just do it for Chris. Right. So I originally had all 10 for Chris, and then my girl wanted one. I'm like, I'll give you a green. My mom wanted one. I'm like, I'll give you a pink.
That's fire. You see, I love that. So there's like there's an intention, there's a meaning, there's a purpose behind it. You know what I mean?
But it's evolved to so many different things, man. It's like, it started with Chris. Like rest in power, Chris. That was my guy. But what it's led to, it's like, okay, I used to be a real estate agent. Okay, I would never have my nails like this because they would dismiss me. I'm like, I would need to be so valuable that if I show up to a meeting and I'm purple, I'm like, they just have to deal with me. Right. I have to be interchangeable. Right. And there's a lot of people that'll see my nails and be like, yo, like, what's the deal with this guy? Maybe they're insecure with themselves and they don't want to talk with me. It's a good way to like filter out some people. Mm-hmm. And then to take it a step further, when I post on social media, the amount of people in my comments who were like, nice nails, explicit, talking about their nails, all my videos blow up because of these things. Right. It's crazy. Right. I didn't think the reaction would be that nuts. Right. I really didn't when I started. Now I'll be doing it forever. Right. But I feel like it shows how narrow-minded people are. Yeah. Especially when you leave New York. New York, it's expression. People are, going crazy, do whatever you want. You go to like Ohio. Yeah. I think I went to a beach in Florida and people were like 20 yards away, like pointing at my nails. I'm like, right. People, so it's crazy because I work out of high school. Right. And unfortunately,
because everybody's so worried about like who they don't like or who they have beef with or who they don't. I feel like everybody's not focused on what we're here to do.
Yeah.
We're here to educate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're here to motivate the students. You know what I mean? So are they getting the best out of us if we're just conspiring against our coworkers and all this other stuff going on?
That's one thing I never see. I have no little interaction with like, you know, people in high school. What trends are you seeing? What are they into? What are they doing?
Ooh, so TikTok heavy.
Right. Oh,
TikTok got their soul.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And everything is like they all fashion is all the same.
Right.
Like,
are they still partying? Are they still like smoking and drinking? Or is that sort of
they heavy on the drugs? Like
really?
they're way past the Four Loko and weed era. So they're like
that was a great idea.
Yeah, that was a great idea. That was a great idea. You know, $5.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? When to get drunk.
You just had to be there, bro. It's like, let me walk 3 miles into the woods to smoke this joint and maybe I'll get caught.
Right.
Now it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna light up in Taco Bell.
Right. And Taco Bell has like alcohol or whatever. We got Cantina now, you know?
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
But it's just super individuality is not really a thing anymore.
Okay.
You know, with this generation, like you kind of gotta.
Yeah.
If you don't have, if we like right now we got Nikes on, so you cool, I'm cool. But it's like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with any other brand.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like I'm just gonna wear what I'm comfortable with. Maybe I have a wider foot. Maybe New Balance is better for me, or you know, maybe my style fits Vans. You know what I mean? But they're all like, it looks like uniform kind of.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Not to go off topic. I hoop in these. I play in the ones. People go nuts. They're like, "How are you wearing the ones?" I'm like, "It's the original Jordan. How is this?" They like think it's like playing in like Chuck Taylors.
Right.
And they're blown away. I'd say like 50% of people I play with are like, "Yo, how are you playing with those?" Like they look cool, but are your feet okay? I'm like, they're fine.
Right.
People are shocked.
Yeah, I think it's all, like I said, it's all comfort. Like you find what
I can still dunk.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Find what works for you and go with it.
Yeah,
you know what
facts.
I mean? But hey, we got a few icebreakers.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
So people are talking lifetime companionship, and I'm just wondering how much longer I'll be on the family phone plan.
That's a valid question.
That's a valid question.
It's a valid question.
I told you I'll be the judge of this. I
think when I had posted that, I think I was already booted off. I think like 22, 23, my mom saw I was making some bread. She's like, get out of here.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember I got booted because of my little brother.
Right.
He's a hater. So, you know, my mom, I don't know, she was in her feelings and he's just like, yeah, just kick him off. And she kicked me off. You know, so it's cool.
You have to get a new number or?
Nah, they let me keep the same number and I just had to make my own plan. So I had a family plan with my
What was your first phone?
My first phone, it was a Sprint Fusic.
Okay.
It was a flip phone and it had an MP3 player on this part of it.
I remember that.
Yeah, Sprint Fusic. Yeah, it had the little headphone piece right there.
Yeah.
Put some music on it. I was popping.
That was smooth.
Yeah, I was my sister was upset because I was a freshman in high school. So I had baseball after school. So that was the only reason. I'm 32.
32,
So the only reason why I had the phone was because I had baseball after school.
Sure.
My dad is like, I have no idea where you're at. I mean, so it was a safety thing.
Yeah.
She didn't get one until her sophomore year of high school. She's older than me, so she's like, how can we get one early?
That's how it flows, bro. That's when it came out. My brothers got it in high school. I got it like in the 7th grade.
Right. It's a safety thing, you know? Forgetting about people from high school faster than I thought.
That's facts, man. I see some things sent to me now, like of someone, and I'm starting to lose the names of the people I grew up with. I'm turning 30 this year. It's like I just don't have enough RAM in my head to remember those people.
Right. And where'd you grow up?
Grew up in upstate New York. So I grew up on a farm about 3 hours north. Like literally alpacas, chickens. Very, very rural environment. I think 1 traffic light in my town. Public high school, where there was like 75 kids a grade. Right. So the smallest you could be.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But always had like New York was like right sort of in the backyard, like 3 hours away. So
3 hours away, yeah.
I thought like New York was the same as like Albany. I had no concept of it, but I knew it was there.
Right. YouTube videos taught me way more than high school.
That's true. I mean, Joel Embiid learned how to shoot a free throw on YouTube. And he's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
You know? I went to 1 semester of community college. I'm like, I'm out of here. Right. You know, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to work for myself. Right. So that still holds true.
Right. He does make his free throws for a big guy, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is really difficult. Like the ball in his hands like a Nerf ball.
Right. And then like, I guess the rim it's probably like, like right here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's shooting lasers.
Because for a shorter guy, it's like you got to put a little more on it. But for him, it's like right there.
Yeah.
Especially when he raises his hand. So when he raises his hand, it's probably like 8 feet, and the room is like 2 feet. So he's like,
and he learned that on YouTube.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You can come to class and hand out your mixtape, but you can't bring a writing utensil. Nice, dude.
Yeah, I think that was probably posted my freshman year of community college. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Right.
What are we doing? At that time, I was already making 6 figures, and I remember there was like first day of class, I was already making 6 figures. I was doing some like e-commerce stuff back in the day, and I remember 2 answers like, all right, what do you want to get out of college? What do you want to do? This is 2014, so simpler times financially. The first guy was like, I want to start an LLC, and like the whole class was like, oh my God, LLC, oh my God. I can show you right now. It takes 15 minutes.
Right.
And the second girl was like, I want to make 6 figures. And again, the whole class was like blown away. And I'm like, I'm already kind of like right there. Like, why am I here?
Right.
You don't need to take this step to get there.
Right. That makes sense. So this one's right on brand. In order to make bread, you must have dough.
That's facts.
With the cash emoji, with the cash bag emoji.
Yeah. Man, I gotta look at my old tweets. These are fire.
I tell you, man.
It's like you always say, like, life is like a sandwich. No matter what way you flip it, I'm getting bread.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And we not cutting no corners off. You heard?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good part to it, man.
Yeah.
Don't cut no corners off. You gotta watch people like that.
But no, that's real, man. It's like, look, decisions in business are made of one of 2 spots: greed or fear. Mm-hmm. So if someone's making a decision out of fear, let's say they don't know if they can make payroll, or they can't pay for their office or whatever. If you have access to capital, you can capitalize on that. That's why I do business funding. That's why I do business credit, to help people have that capital, to where, let's say, a stock goes on sale, or there's a fire sale on a piece of real estate where they can only get it that day. They have access to that capital to make it happen.
Right. So
I guess all that stuff has always been on my mind. Right. And those are probably 7, 8 years old.
Yeah. So these are like, the first one was 2015, the second one was 2014. So the other one's like 2014-ish.
Wow. Yeah. That's fire. I like that a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have one question before we get into it.
Go for it.
What's the title of this chapter in your life?
Ooh. The title of this chapter in my life.
Right.
It's called The Foundation to Your Legacy.
Elaborate.
So I got 2 sons now, Hendrix and Lennox.
I like that. Hendrix and Lennox. Okay.
Hendrix is 4 now.
Right.
So he's going to school.
What's he into?
He's into Spider-Man. He's into Paw Patrol. He's into the whole Marvel thing now.
Right.
Loves baseball. Had his first baseball season.
How's that feel?
Oh, it feels good because he's already hitting coach pitch.
Oh.
So he was only in T-ball for like 3 weeks.
Right.
And now they're throwing it. Yeah. And it's things that we worked on. So it's cool to see that I worked on him with something.
That's dope.
And he's able to do it. He's playing soccer in the fall.
Okay.
So
see how long that lasts.
I mean, his dad, his parents, my wife's family's Mexican.
Okay.
And I'm from Honduras. So
really?
The whole Central American.
Wow.
He's doing this for his grandpas right now. So we'll see. Yeah. But I need him. He's going to be tall.
Okay.
So I need those feet to be, coordinated.
Okay. That's smart then. Yeah.
There's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just playing into it.
Yeah.
But I know I need him to be coordinated.
Right.
Which is pretty athletic already.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that I'm doing are laying down the foundation for the lifestyle that I'm going to be able to give them.
Right.
And I went to boarding school at 16, so I need private school to happen way earlier for them, because
you saw the value of that.
Oh man, it for inner city kids, it's one of the thing is you can go somewhere and not take advantage of the opportunity.
Of course, right.
So I took advantage. I was in everything possible, student council, varsity, whatever I could do, I was a part of it. Yeah. Every club possible. Yeah. I did a tango with the dance club, all of that, So, but it was one of those places that they made you feel comfortable enough to go outside your comfort zone.
Right.
And everybody needs that because you need that leap of faith. So me leaving the boarding school at 16 is why college wasn't an issue, is why my internship in DC wasn't an issue, is why living in the Hamptons wasn't an issue, and is why playing pro baseball in Austria wasn't an issue.
Damn.
because I already did that.
You're comfortable being.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I know I'm gonna figure it out. I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for a little, but I know I'm gonna figure it out. I know I'm gonna land on my feet.
Bet.
So, I'm just planting the seeds.
Right.
For my boys.
Planting the seeds, love it. Oh yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
That was a bar.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So build your credit and get access to 100K.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah, so I mean, there's really like three things in terms of everyone wants to get access to the money. I'm like, all right, let's take a step back here. Let's go back. First,
step one.
Yeah, and there's only 3 steps. So number one, you got to build a foundation of your credit. So that's the credit repair. So if you have any negative items on your credit, so the breakdown of your credit is, and I'll break this down. It's 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. So 35% is on-time payments. Are you making your payments on time? 30% is utilization. How much of your aligned credit card are you actually using? Let's say you have a $5,000 credit and you're using $4,000 of it. You're maxing out your credit. That's going to be negatively held against you. 15% is age. How long have you had your credit for? 10% is inquiries. How many inquiries do you have in your credit profile? How many times have you ran it in the last 2 years? And the last 10% is diversity. If you only have credit cards, and you go for a car loan, they're like, hey, you only have credit cards. We've never seen you have a car loan. Now, fortunately, it's pretty easy to get a car, so you'll get a car. But they want to see you service a lot of different debts, a mortgage, a credit card, secured loans. So they want to see diversity. So number one is you have to build all that out. The good news is, if you're watching this, if you have missed payments or collections or charge-offs or bankruptcies or derogatories, anything negative, and it happens. Maybe it could be as easy as you turned off auto pay and you missed one payment, or you had a bad stretch in business and you started missing all your bills and your credit sucks. Well, everything on your credit report needs to be accurate and verifiable. You could say, hey, I could hit a baseball 500 yards. I'd be like, okay, verify that. It's the same thing with the credit bureaus. If you have late payments and you dispute that, that credit, and you say, hey, I don't remember missing that payment. What are you talking about? If they can't verify it, if they can't, say hit the baseball 500 yards, you can get that removed on your report.
Right.
So number one is just stabilizing your credit. Making sure you remove all the. I've seen so many people pay tens of thousands of dollars in extra and interest. So the stat that I always say that makes people's hair stand up on the back of their neck is for every 10 points your credit score is lower, on average, you pay an extra $30,000 in interest over the course of your mortgage. So I see so many people applying for mortgages. Maybe it's the first time or whatever. I'm like, yo, get your credit fixed first. So it's as high as possible so you get the best rate. It's like, if you don't have your credit score optimized, you're playing your financial life on hard mode.
Right.
If you want to start a business, you got to start with the credit. You got to get that straight first.
Right.
It doesn't need to be an 8. It needs to be, a 7, a 720. Just start there.
Right.
And then you can go to the next step. The next step is what I like to call credit consulting. That is increasing the limits on your card. If you have a $500 limit, you take a girl out for a nice dinner, guess what? Your card's maxed out. Right. And then your score goes down. People are like, oh, I don't understand why my score is so low. It's like, well, because you have a $500 limit and you've spent $400.
Right.
So increasing your credit limit. You said you just moved to the South Bronx. How long have you rented, in your life?
This is year 5.
Year 5. So every single time I make a rent payment, I get added to my credit report. So there's multiple different companies that will report every single positive payment history you make. So I don't know what your rent is. My rent's $2,000. I'm very fortunate to have a rent stabilized apartment. Every time I make a payment, I then get a positive mark on my credit report. So I've built 10 years of credit history and 10 years of $2,000 monthly payment. So when I go to buy a house, they're like, okay, checks out. This guy has a mortgage for $2,000 and he's never missed a payment.
Right.
And that increases my age, that increases my diversity. And in addition, I can get points for paying my, you can actually pay your rent on a credit card. Right. So you pay your rent on a credit card, then you get points on the credit card, and then you can use those points to also pay your rent.
Right.
But these are only available to people who have, great credit scores. Not even great, just 720, 730 credit.
Right.
So, okay, so we fixed your credit. We've built your credit profile a little bit, and we can touch on that more. Mm-hmm. And the third thing is business funding. So again, you can get, I'd say around $250,000 at 0% interest for 12 months without producing a single tax return or bank statement, all on your personal credit. So if you have a 720 credit score, you can get $250,000 for whatever business venture you want. Say you want to blow up you want to do these podcasts and they're, for some reason they became way more expensive, or you want to get a crazy guest, or you want to start a Turo business, or you want to buy more Airbnbs, you can get $250,000 to apply to whatever you want to do. And you utilize that money, leverage that money to grow that business. Right. And all you need is a 720 credit. Wow. But you need that good score.
Right. It starts with the good score. There's no no cheating the good score.
Right, because you need comparable credit. It's like why would I give you $50,000, if you miss a couple payments, but you can fix that stuff.
Right.
For example, like a lot of people, they have collections on their credit. And if you're watching this, never pay a collection.
Okay.
Never pay a collection. What a collection is let's say you I see gyms do this all the time. Let's say you forgot to pay your gym membership and they can't reach you. It then goes to a collection agency. They buy that debt. Let's say you owe the gym $200. They buy that debt for probably 10 cents on the dollar. So they'll buy that $200 debt you owe the gym for $20. And they're going to try and bet that they can make you pay that $200 to the collection company. Even if you pay it, it's still on your credit.
Right.
And technically, when something goes into collections, you need to sign off on that you have a new reporting on your credit.
Right.
So you can easily remove these collections off your credit. And if you pay it, it stays there.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got me revisiting some collection payments.
Never pay them, man. Just either learn how to fix your credit yourself or pay someone to remove it, but paying a collection will do literally nothing for your credit. You're burning money. You're lighting money on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Lighting money on fire.
Yeah.
So how important is mindset?
With what exactly?
When it comes to being financially literate and kind of, there's people that feel I'm going to use $2,000 to invest in a business and I'm going to use $2,000 to go to Miami.
You can't really be doing that. I mean, the thing that I've always seen Alex Hormozi talk about. Are you familiar with Alex Hormozi?
No.
He's an online internet money type guy. Right. He started with gyms. He runs acquisition.com, very successful guy. He's like, there's three things for a very successful person that he's seen, the recipe. Three things is one, they sort of feel like they have an edge on people or they're better than people. They're sort of, either very confident or arrogant. I don't know what the term is. But at the same time, the second thing is they're insecure. They're insecure about something, whether they didn't get into that school, they don't fit in with people, or they're not super tall or not super good looking. They're insecure about something. Right. And the third thing is you're just able to control yourself. You're able to not go to that trip to Miami when all your friends are going. You're able to lock in on weekends when everyone's going to the club.
Very tasty, cheesy, onion, all of the above. One word to describe it, scrumptious, right? We from the town, so we just gonna say pause first, but it melts in your mouth. You just love it. You know what I'm saying? I wear this shirt to sleep. How much I love 7th Street Burger, man. It's near and dear to my heart. You see the logo? It's near to my heart. That's how we do it, man. Peace.
So in terms of mindset and credit, yeah, like you have to be able to lock in and actually, use it on a venture that is going to make more money. Because the worst thing is if you don't pay it back, then you're locked out from that bank and you'll have a bad credit score.
Right.
And credit repair, it is possible. It just takes time.
Right.
It's like, you took 5 years to get a bankruptcy. Like, we can't get it off in a week. It's going to take some time.
Right.
And like, that's what I'd say, like the most common person we work with, I'd say, who is business credit? Who is funding good for? I'd say it's someone who just learned a skill. They just learned a skill. They really got super good at something. For example, Amazon FBA, Amazon wholesaling, or their Airbnb property management business, or maybe they have a car they have on Turo, but they want to do it better. They've learned the skill and they just need the money to blow up that operation, to make it bigger.
Right.
I mean, you can do this, but I wouldn't really say business credit is great for someone who gets it and then they're like, all right, let me learn a skill now.
Right.
It's better to do all your research, get everything in order, get your business plan set, and then get the funding to attack it.
Right. What's your daily routine?
Daily routine, man. I saw him. Are you familiar with that guy in the Olympics right now who he got second place by just he just showed up. He's been shooting for like 6 months. He got second place. He just hand in his pocket and he's just shooting at the target.
Right. I've seen a little bit.
There's that guy, and then there's the person who won gold who has like the glasses. They got the back tilt, whatever.
Right.
Like they're super locked in. And like the joke is the guy with just one hand in his pocket. He just like sells stuff And then the person who with all the gadgets, it's like sauna, ice bath, early morning meditations, all that stuff.
Right.
I'd say I'm more of the guy of the turkey, just shooting the shot. Like I don't wake up super early. I wish I could. I wish I did. Wake up at like 8 o'clock.
Okay.
You know, take a shower, go for a run. I have a sauna in my apartment I use occasionally.
Right.
You know, I'll go to my deli, eat like 2 or 3 eggs, cup of coffee, take an Adderall, get to work.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Right.
Like routine can help you, but there's a joke about one of my friends. He like spends all day doing routines.
Right.
By the time he gets through the ice bath, the cold plunge, the sauna, the meditation, whatever, it's like 4 o'clock.
Right.
It's like the day's over, dude.
So he's not maximizing his time.
He's not doing anything.
He's not
just
doing nothing.
being comfy and doing stuff. It's like, get to work.
Yeah, me, I'm trying to make the most of every 24.
Right.
Every 24.
Right. 86,400. You know what that means?
86,400. How many seconds we have
Exactly.
a day?
Exactly. And
Right.
every day, it's like a bank account. Like,
Right.
Good job. It's like
Right.
you're given $86,400 every single day, but you can't take it with you.
Right.
You know, that goes to zero at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, you better be fucking using that, man.
Absolutely.
You're smart, man. That was a good pick.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So how does a person change their mind on how they view credit? So for me, my mother owes Macy's a pretty penny.
Right.
And she was like retail debt.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's pretty much all I've ever seen.
Right.
It's like people just blow a bag on
It's a
credit.
huge mistake. Let's be clear. Debt is powerful, and you need to plan for it. The biggest issue and mistake people make is they run up their personal credit. They max out their credit, which is 30% of your credit. Like you're showing up, and you're at 65 out of 100.
Right.
If you have your credit max, even if you've never missed a payment, your score is going to be 670, 680 max,
Right.
which is going to make everything more expensive. With business funding, it doesn't report the utilization. So if you max out a business credit card, it won't show up on the personal side. So in terms of mindset about credit, I mean, like, read the fine print, understand what you're signing up for, make sure you have a plan and a vision, and make sure you apply it correctly. Don't go to Miami. Don't get a BBL. Don't get something crazy.
Right.
Apply something, put it into an asset.
Right.
And sometimes assets don't work. Sometimes deals fall apart.
Right.
But at least, a goal without a plan is a wish. Right. If you just get this business credit, you're all figured out, you're going to end up in a bad spot.
Right.
If you have a plan, you're ready to execute, like, that's who it's for. We've had so many people that we've gotten funding and, like, it's blown up their business because they have the capital to make it happen.
Right. Do your parents have good credit?
Yeah, they do, and that's a huge thing that, like, is an advantage. It's like I didn't grow up with, I grew up middle class, but you always realize, you see these other these rich kids, and they naturally they have figured it out somehow. It's not just through their connections.
Right.
They grew up around that. They grew
Right.
up watching that. That's second nature to them. Here's another trick. Like if you're I know you said a lot of your viewers are young, right?
Right.
I did this as well, and this felt a little weird coming out of my mouth, but I was like, I got into credit like 3 years ago, and I had like a 650 credit, and one of my issues is my age was very young. You can get something called an authorized user, where you contact an older person, or if you don't have an aunt or uncle or mom or dad, or a friend, you can buy it online. But an authorized user, which you get added onto their card, and if you're in this scenario and you want to increase your credit score, increase your age, you can go, Mom, Dad, like, I'm trying to increase my credit score. I don't need access to the card. I don't want the card. I just need to increase my age. Your authorized user calls in the bank, hey, I'd like to add this person to your card. You get added on. You inherit their age and their credit limit.
Right.
So like my dad, he's old, turned 70 this year.
Right.
And he has a LL Bean card that's like 20 years old. So that got thrown on my profile. My credit score went up 50 points.
Wow.
And because of that, I get better deals on, my mortgage, better deals on cars, because they're like, oh, wow, this guy has credit age.
Right.
It's really just, hack.
Yeah, I have one for my son.
Right.
So I got to make
Smart.
another one for my new son, because he's 7 months. So
okay, he's got time.
Yeah. So I got one for Hendrix last year, about a year ago.
And Lennox is 7 months?
And Lennox is 7 months, yeah.
Got it.
So I got to get one for him too.
I don't remember the names.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Henny and Lenny.
Yeah.
Was this taught to you in high school?
No. Actually, believe it or not, man, and again, with the tweets, it's going full circle. The credit thing is a new thing for me, right? I was more into real estate, the last, pretty much my whole professional career. My thesis in high school is financial literacy should be a required course to graduate from high school. But the thing is with school, school was funded by the Rockefellers. So we know this.
Right, yes. But for those who don't know,
right,
go ahead.
Sure. I mean, it was funded, I think, in 1912 by the Rockefellers. Like the National Board of Education was funded by them. That's why authoritarian in the front of the class, you're in rows, no collaboration. Like you're going there to create workers. That's how it's framed, And so they don't teach that. And I understand why they don't teach it is because that does not correlate to you getting a job. That correlates to you starting your own business, which they don't, in school at least, don't necessarily want.
Right. Right. And then a lot of those, so for anyone who feels like an outlier or anything like that, you're going the right way. You're just in a system that doesn't really encourage like free thinkers or thinking outside the box. Or
you might be going the right way. You might be a bad entrepreneur.
Right. I mean, that's true, but I feel like some people are shunned.
Right.
Just because, I got the answer, but I just didn't do it your way, but I got the answer. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like encouraging different methods to get the same solution.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Not shitting on the kid because I had classmates that taught me better than my teacher did. Like I just understood how my classmate told me.
I was barely scraping by, bro. I was barely getting by.
But I think we need to embrace that. We're all like success. Success is subjective, but we're all gonna get there in our own way.
It's so relative, man. It's so interesting. Like there's a building. I don't even want to say this. There's a building going up right now. I don't want to say where because I don't want to out this guy, but building going up, beautiful building. It's in the East Village, and I was walking by it today with one of my friends, and I was like, hey, you would think the guy building this building is very successful and everything's working out for him in his life, right? He was like, yeah. I'm like, he killed himself like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, shit.
So, like, you just never really know, man.
Right.
You just never have any idea what someone's going through.
Right. That's true. That's why I try to lean with kindness.
Yeah.
I always try to be super positive, and, I feel like when you find inner peace, you could genuinely be good to other people.
Right.
Because you're good to yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for all those out there, definitely show yourself some love before you overextend yourself for others.
Yeah. Just don't do meditation until 4 p.m. every day. You got to get to work as well.
Right.
But it is important. Right. Self-care is very important.
So how do you navigate past the whole, like, this is a scam thing?
I mean, yeah, I get that all the time. And it's either this is a scam and I was thinking about this a lot. They're like, this is a scam or bro probably sells courses. Or the third option is people tell me I look like Walmart Charlie Puth, or they'll just make fun of me in some way,
Right.
I was thinking that a lot about courses. Like bro probably sells a course. It's like, what is the alternative to a course? There's, I think, college education has dropped like 15 to 20% of people going to college,
right.
And they're not teaching how are you going to learn Amazon FBA or how to run an Airbnb or how to scale a Turo business in college? The only place you can find that is on a course,
right.
Because it's new relevant information. Like a lot of this stuff has came out in the last 5 years.
Right.
So like the amount of people and like that comment that stuff, like I would maybe take it seriously if there's a profile picture behind it.
Right.
But it's like user 6647
right,
or whatever.
Right.
And it's like fame is the best business model. Bring it on. And if they really want to break down, is this a scam? I'll explain why they give you this funding at 0%. Because they want you to bank with them. They want you to get into their door. Do you know how banks make money? Because I didn't really know until like I got into this business.
Enlighten me.
Sure. And this probably isn't the most articulate approach, but essentially you put money with them. Let's say you put $50,000 with Chase Bank. They then use that money as a reserve and make more money with it. Right. They trade it and they put it into whatever investments they like to do. I'm sure very, very low risk, right. But they want you to store your money with them, right. So they can then borrow on that and put it into other assets and make returns. So they want you as a customer. That's why these 0%, offers exist to get you in the door.
Right.
So that's a huge thing about getting business credit is that you have to have a relationship with these banks, right? It's almost like walking up to a girl and be like, "Hey, do you want to go out with me?" They'd be like, "Get away from me! Who the fuck are you?"
Right.
But you gotta go in. You gotta I don't know, rizz up these banks.
Right.
But fortunately, you can cheat on each bank. You know, they don't care.
Right.
You know, you can bank with, you know, 3 or 4 banks.
As long as I get mine.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. But, you know, they're going to want to see you deposit some money. A big thing is they want to make sure you're a real human being. Walk into the bank, shake some hands.
Right.
You know, the credit card fraud happens all the time. So they want to make sure you're a real human being and you're actually the one applying for that. Believe it or not, it's like signing your SAT. You get whatever, like 600 points. Just walking to the bank and forming the bank account is like, it gets you very far with business credit. They actually know you're a real human. Right. It's easy. Anyone from anywhere in the world can go in a country and just apply to a credit card online. If you actually go in and open a bank account and they see that you're a real human being, that increases your credit limit like, you know, 20, 25%.
Right. I like the business side of the bank.
Yeah.
You know, because I have a nonprofit, so I have to get a business account for that and all that. But I like the way they treat you, you know, Mr. Bernardez, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's right. I like some coffee.
Yeah.
2 sugars, please. You know, it's nice. You know, the chairs are nicer.
Dude, it's an easier life. Like psychologically, when you have a good credit score, and it's kind of annoying, but your mailbox is getting flooded with credit card offers. It's like, I never used to get those. I never used to get asked out. Now everybody wants me.
Right.
You go to the, you know, you can go to the flying to Houston on Monday, free flight. You know, paid for by credit card points. Right. And then I'm staying at the Amex Lounge, you know, free food. And again, like just being in there with other people, rubbing shoulders with a bunch of other people who are Amex members who pay $500 a year and probably have good credit scores. There's all types of money walking around in there.
Right.
It just makes life easier.
Right.
Really does.
It really does. Does the person that you're in a relationship with have to be financially savvy?
Do they have to be financially savvy? That's a really good question, Zoe. I definitely tend to not date like the typical, like, you know, like Miami, BBL, like that demographic, $1,000 dinners. That's not really my vibe. But at the same time, like you said, if they didn't grow up around it and I can educate them on it, you know, that's fine. Right. They don't have to be a shark. They don't have to be, you know, Mark Cuban, whatever. They have to have an idea. They can't be like, you know, just spending frivolously on dumb things that they don't have money for. Right. But I'd say they have to be open to it, open to learning. You know, because my girl teaches me things all the time. Right. That I never even thought about.
Partnership.
You know? Yeah.
Not tag-alongs.
Exactly.
All for it.
Yeah.
So, define good business.
Define good business. Something that's mutually beneficial. Like money is only, the price of something is only the issue in the absence of value. So if you send someone an invoice and they kind of feel like, oh, I didn't really get that much of it. Everyone knows what's going on. They just pretend like they don't, you know? Mm-hmm. So good business is, good business is, I would say it's social equity. It's like, okay, I did a deal with this guy, then he would refer me to someone else, or I wouldn't mind working with him and learning more about his business, things like that. Right. And that's a good point. If I meet someone in business and they're like, oh, I cheated my girlfriend, blah, 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 and they're doing all this crazy stuff, I'm like, I don't really want to be too close to you, man. Because you make, you know, business partners and stuff like that, that's a relationship. That's a marriage. Right.
So there's a lot of people that want to cut corners or take the pennies, and we could have made dollars, but there's a lot of people that do bad business.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not worth it. Like, it's like you got the short end of what we really were going to accomplish.
Right.
For
so many people like that, man. Especially in the current era, 2024, everyone's so connected. Right. Everyone's so, I get if the you know, anywhere up until the internet where everyone is connected a click away, you know, all my ex-girlfriends are on my phone. Obviously, I don't call them, but like everyone is a click away. It's like, if you're going to do that, leave it in the 90s, leave it in the 80s where you just like skip town. It's like people you're going to see that person again.
Right. Right. And it's like, I don't know, because like integrity still matters.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the word gets out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It may get to the right person, and you may miss an opportunity of a lifetime because you went to do bad business with someone you thought you'd never see again. Sure. But you never knew, like, damn.
You never knew, man. Like, I've had multiple business partners where I want to send them like the invoice if I had a big month, and I'm like, I don't care. It's not worth it. Right. That's not how I win by stepping on someone else. That's not how I win.
Right. You gotta lift while you climb.
Right. Yeah.
So how's your family handling your success?
They're happy. They're chill. You know, they let me rock. I come from a family of healthcare. My dad's everyone on my dad's side is a chiropractor. Everyone on my mom's side is a nurse. But I think I sort of learned a lot from my dad's upbringing. You know, chiropractic. You ever been to a chiropractor?
Mm-hmm. One time.
Yeah. You know, I would say there's a good amount of chiropractors that are just like a little bit off or are more in it for the monetary, you know, that just want to make as much money as possible. Whereas, you know, people say chiropractors all the time, oh, they aren't real doctors. They aren't real doctors. And I'm like, I've seen my dad help so many people, like get them, like they couldn't get out of bed. And then he, you know, helped them, adjust them, and then they could walk, you know, like the next day. So, but the thing with that is his whole life in chiropractic, they're fixing the problem by actually, you know, contorting the back. They're fighting against big pharma. They're fighting about all these huge corporations who just want to feed you with these drugs so they can make more and more money. So he was fighting sort of that battle his whole life. So it sort of taught me, I don't know, not really to stick to the man, but just there's different routes to do things. You know, I didn't want to go to the conventional route. I don't think subliminally. Yeah.
And so then how does a person sign up for your service?
You just DM me. Yeah, they can DM. We can have a quick conversation to make sure that they're the right fit. We don't work with everybody, you know, because it's a commitment. You know, like some people, like for example, we had a client last week. He needed $50,000 for a renovation project. I'm like, hey, you need to go drive and open this bank account. It takes 30 minutes tops. He's like, oh, I can't do it. I don't really want to do that. Can I do it online? I'm like, bro, 30 minutes to get $50,000. Like, come on. If you can't do that, I can't help you, bro. Like, it takes, to do a $50,000 mortgage, it takes like a month and a half. I can give you $50,000 at 0% interest in a week. Like, I'm offering you a flight to the moon. Don't ask where the seat is. You know?
Have you helped anyone in your family?
No, I felt my girlfriend. Yeah. She had the, ex-boyfriend. I think she had like a couple like these dumb like collections for like $100 from like her utility company, or I think she like her gym, $70. That was putting down her score 100 points. Wow. So we burned those off in like a month and a half, got rid of those. Score jumped up like 720, 730. Right. And then she refinanced her car. She, got a better rate on her credit cards. And like, again, like now she's getting like 0% interest offers in the mail. So it's like, like for example, you go to buy a car, they run your credit. I've seen people, they'll shotgun it. They'll run it, 6-7 times. If you have more than 3 hard credit inquiries on your credit report, you're deemed high risk. Right. So the next time you go to get debt, you're labeled as a high risk lender. Right. That means you'll have higher interest rate, higher monthly payments, or you might not even get approved. Whereas you can remove all those inquiries off your credit report. Right. Same day. Get those off your report. But like people just don't realize that, and they're just walking around with like 10, 15 inquiries and like, oh, you're spending an extra 10 G's a year easily on interest. Dang. Just by removing inquiries, where you can do that. We charge $397 to do it, but realistically, you could go online and learn how to do it and remove them. Right.
I think I might, need some BoweryBoi services.
Yeah, I got you, man.
I'll tell you, I don't want to tell the story anymore because, I'll tell you later.
Are you sure? Yeah. We don't have to record it. I would love to hear because, like, dude, that's how I started. I was so insecure. My backstory on credit, man, I've always had a little bit of a presence online, not as big as now, but I had to refinance a few properties, and I'd never really looked at my credit. I looked at my credit, I had a 660 credit. I'm like, oh my God, like, you can make fun of me about anything. You could, bust my balls, tell me I'm ugly, whatever. But you talk about my credit, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sensitive about this, And I'm like, I guess this is my life now. I guess I just have a collection and my life's fucked. And then shout out Glad Credit. I think it was a Sunday in early 2022, and I was desperation time. Like, I need to refinance this property. And there's a difference in life of someone who can get it done or like it needs to get done. Back against the wall type shit. I just DM'd like 10 people business credit, and Glad was the first one to respond. He helped me remove that collection. He helped me remove all my inquiries. Now I'm up to a 750. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I helped my girl out. I've helped a few other people out fixing their credit. And then more people started hitting me up. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then I got funding. I got myself $200,000 for my real estate portfolio to do some renovations. And then again, I helped like 1 or 2 people out, and then more people would start hitting me up like, yo, I could use that. I'm like, damn, I got a business here. And that was about a year and a half ago. We've served over 400 customers, just on like credit repair side and inquiry removal. So yeah, man. But like that's how I started. I had collections, I had inquiries, I had late payments. All that's gone now. All my LLCs were structured incorrectly.
I helped a family member.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? So
I got you, bro. That happens a lot.
Yeah. The conversation was so. Tribe knows what's up, So I'm trying to. Right now, we're not in a good space. Yeah. My sibling, we don't even talk anymore. So
we'll get you right.
Yeah, we got to get right, man.
But that's the thing. People are like, okay, because again, we charge a fee to get people funding. The biggest thing. Okay, why should I work with you? Because look, there's about 50 different reasons that you can get denied for a loan or a line of credit. It could simply be you walk in, you meet the wrong banker, and they're just super strict and they're not going to work with you. That could be the reason. You could have too many addresses on your credit. You could have too many inquiries. So many people, they like, I want to get business funding. They form an LLC and they go to get funding the next day. That's like, taking your girl out and then immediately like, yo, let's wrap this up. Let's head back to my place. It's like, yo, you just got here. You just got here.
Buy me a drink.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll actually help people buy aged LLCs. You can buy LLCs that are like 2 years old. Buy them so your LLC, your company is 2 years old as opposed to a day old, and that increases the likelihood that you'll get funding exponentially. Right. So what we do is again, if you walk in and it says trucking in your LLC, real estate, construction, those are all high risk. You'll be immediately denied. I don't care if you have an 850 credit score. Right. There's so many different things that can lead to an automatic denial, and our job is just to mitigate that and make sure those mistakes don't happen because there's a lot of loops, a lot of things a lot of hoops you got to jump through. But we know the banking system, so.
Right. Anyone not believe in you?
Does anyone not believe me? I'm sure. Yeah, so many people. Yeah. Does anyone not believe in me? I wouldn't know. Right. And it's none of my business, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Were you ever discouraged at any point?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, it's still like as an entrepreneur, like, for example, like one of our, like it's a difference between owning and working. And I didn't really realize that, I've run this company for, 15 months now. And, if something happens, like for example, we had a relationship manager, we always go through that retired. She just like retired. And I'm like, damn, we put a lot of business through her, but I'm not really going to tell my employees that's their employees, they need to be comfortable. I'll figure that out. I got to figure that out. I can't put that on them. Right. Maybe 2-3 years ago, I'd tell them, hey, this relationship manager stepped down. Then they're worrying about it all weekend. Oh, how am I getting my next paycheck? No, I got to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure so many people don't believe me.
A little off topic, but still on topic.
Let it rip.
PPP loans.
Yes.
How did people go wrong with that? And why are so many people
misappropriating it, not using it for its intended use, and also it's like they just sent that out with such a wide net. I don't know a whole lot about the PPP fraud. Right. I personally, I got a loan. I it's all public knowledge, but I got a PPP loan. Nowhere near the numbers people were doing. I think what they were doing is they were getting multiple social security numbers and fake businesses and running it up that way, and that's to the government, who you do not want to mess with.
Yeah. Those 3 people, the IRS.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Okay, so that because I see some people, I see some stuff on YouTube,
and it's all popping up now.
Yeah, people getting in trouble. I think the mother, she got like 3 kids. She had like a hair salon business, whatever.
And they all got PPP. Probably all 3 kids.
I think she did on her sister's name or something like that. But yeah, it's crazy. I think a rapper, he got like I think 25 million or some shit like that. And he had to do a year in jail. The Pleasure P. No, one of those Pretty Ricky guys.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was Fetty Wap.
Nah, Fetty Wap is, that's free Fetty though, but he
free Fetty.
He was dope. Some other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and using that word, selling that word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, last 2 questions.
Yeah.
What would be your message to your younger self?
Message to my younger self. Invest in yourself. I know it's so cliche, but like as a I'm 29, so I'm sort of reflecting on my 20s. As a young man, I wanted to always invest in assets, invest in stocks. That might not be the right move. When you're in your 20s, you might want to and this is more fun, invest in relationships. Not the wrong relationships, but invest in mentorships. Invest in, like you said, get active in groups and communities and meeting other people. And that costs money, getting into those rooms, because you can't make old friends, they have to start at some point. And as you got 2 kids, you're not really making a whole lot of new friends right now, or it's a little bit more difficult. It's easier, when you're just starting up and everything's so free and you have a little more time and maybe your frontal lobe isn't developed. So invest in yourself, make relationships, forge those relationships. That's the beauty of, going to a private school, is those people. It's not what you learn in the textbooks. It's the people and the professors. So invest more in myself, as opposed to investing in, houses and stocks and cars and stuff like that. Like, really invest it into yourself and in learning, and also the relationships.
Right. Well, I do get to meet cool people through my podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, dean of students, dad, nonprofit. But,
you're busy, man.
But I get to cultivate relationships through here.
Facts.
And I'm usually cool with all my guests after we do an interview. You feel me? So it's crazy because it usually...
You're an anomaly. Yeah. I would say most 29, 30-year-olds aren't walking around meeting new people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm trying to always bridge the gap with the youth.
Facts.
Working at the high school, I'm always trying to bring interesting people in, cool people in.
You need someone to talk about financial literacy. Happy to jump in there, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got career days, and I also have other partnerships where we can do some financial literacy stuff, and places that need a little more love. You know what I mean? So we could definitely connect the dots. But listen, where can we find you? Websites, last few words, shout outs, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I wore the shirt today, BoweryBoi. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, I guess Twitter. I have a Twitter, so I'm there.
You gotta get active again.
Yeah, are you active on Twitter?
I'm active.
Okay,
I'm promoting my episodes every week.
Okay, hell yeah, man, hell yeah.
Talk my shit.
Yeah. People have been telling me. So yeah, just hit me there. Instagram, TikTok, I guess Twitter. Meshes of the world. Fix your credit, get your credit right.
Right.
Especially if you're about to get in business. It's the backbone of your business. You need to have credit to be able to draw on that money, because it's not always just going to be up and to the right. Sometimes you're going to have down months. So you're going to need to invest.
Right.
So you need to have your credit score in check.
Right.
So
and tell us a little bit about Level Group.
Level Group. We're just a boutique firm. We started as a full service real estate development firm, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't really love this. I don't love the real estate game. It's cool. Right. But it's so capital intensive. It's very glorified. And the thing about real estate, you have to there's so many, that could be a whole nother podcast, but it's like, to sum it up, I'll put in 2 things with why I went from real estate to internet money, is that it's a lot easier to fix a hyperlink than it is to fix a pipe.
Right.
You got to fix a pipe. You got to call a contractor. He's late. He's drunk. It's $1,000. Right. Hyperlink, you call someone in the Philippines, $5 an hour. Yo, fix this.
Right.
Number 2 is, it's like real estate. It's like, okay, I need to increase the value of my building. How do I increase the value? I increase the rents. The rent, okay, let me increase the rent on this single mom. Let me increase the rent $300. That makes me feel great.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that, But I was a real estate agent. The next trajectory felt like, let me be an owner. So I got into that realm, and I'm like, after a while, I'm like, I don't really like this. I think there's something else I can be doing.
Right. Well, great, man. So, we thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on Conversation with Zoe.
Yeah.
We locked in, man. We should be releasing in a week or 2.
Oh, really? You're that quick?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We dial these
I'm going to hold you to. I'm not going to be annoying, but.
Come on. I'm telling you. I'm going to hit you up.
You got to hit me right after.
I'm going to tell you that Wednesday, 8 a.m., collab is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? You accepting collabs?
Of course.
All right. So Wednesday.
Our pages are similar, so I feel like you'll
Wednesday,
get
Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. 4 days of promo.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right,
get into it.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
Let's
you know what I'm saying?
go,
We everywhere. I'm going to make sure you're everywhere,
go.
man. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, take care, and continue to have a safe summer. We out.
Peace.
Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We have a great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.